felt inspired today to break my fast from social media. It's been almost 3 weeks. And the moon's in Gemini. I'm feeling communicative. And Gemini is also my chart ruler, so it can be a little flighty. Constantly an evolving work in progress. I am. But anyways, all that aside, I wanted to share, I got this download today to share about the Age of Aquarius and what it really means and what we're really moving into as a collective and on a collective and on an individual level. There's this misconception I feel floating around and misinformation about this time and what it means, and a lot of that is centered around Aquarius as being, or like this time gonna be very chaotic and be like a time of upheaval. And I don't even really know what like misinformation is out there because I am really selective about, hey, thanks for joining. I am really selective about the information that I choose to consume, especially as it relates to astrology. But some things that I've heard from some people that I've been talking to about it is that it's going to be really chaotic and just an unstable time and just filled with lots of instability and like chaos and upheaval. And I just don't see that as being true. Like, Aquarius is very much rooted in structure. Like, the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And the other sign that Saturn rules is Capricorn. And Capricorn is a very much sign of structure and needing stability. You know, they're an earth sign. They're rooted in their structure and in their stability and in their like plan and, you know, divine masculine energy, structure. And so as Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, this is very much in place for Aquarius too. This in place for the sign of Aquarius too. This energy exists for Aquarius as well, because Saturn is a co-ruler of Aquarius along with Uranus, or Uranus. But so they both rule Aquarius. So Aquarius is very much a sign of being rooted in structure, being rooted in the Uranus kind of brings this factor of truth and of innovation and of modernism to Aquarius, but at its core, Aquarius is very much rooted in the energy of Saturn, which is structure, which is, discipline, which is like rules and government. And Aquarius really comes at it with this innovation and this kind of different perspective, this unique perspective, but it doesn't mean that the structure isn't there. It doesn't mean that it's just complete chaos and completely chaotic. Like, Aquarius has this nature at its core of being very structured and of very much like bringing that. So this time, as I interpret, my interpretation of this time for the next 2.5 years for us, and as we as a collective kind of really with all these things happening in the sign of Aquarius and really moving into more of the Age of Aquarius. The Age of Aquarius actually started about 8 years ago. No one really knows exactly, but or at least I haven't been able to find anyone that knows exactly when the Age of Aquarius started, but it was about 8 years ago when Earth moved into the sign of Aquarius. And now that Saturn is joining Jupiter there, we're moving more into an embodiment of that energy. Aquarius is very much the truth bringer. I don't want to use those specific words because I feel like that's more of not exactly what Aquarius embodies, but it's like Aquarius is like they expose the truth. They shed light on the truth. They allow for space through structure for the truth to kind of flow through, to kind of open us up to be a divine channel for the truth and for what is real. Aquarius is very much, they're an air sign, so they are about communicating what is real and really coming from that place of truth and of expression of truth, embodiment of truth. Aquarius is they're the water bearer, so they're an air sign that kind of seems or kind of has the energy of a water sign, which is like being flowy, being intuitive, being like having this like innate wisdom and knowing. Aquarius represents I know. They represent knowing and an embodiment of that knowing, because I always there's this quote I heard once, and it's like, so I always say this, like, applied knowledge or knowledge. Sorry, I'm like talking too fast because I'm really excited and not explaining this well. So knowledge like, you always hear, like, knowledge is power, but really applied knowledge is power. Like, knowledge is kind of useless until you do something with it, until we choose to do something with the knowledge that we have. Just knowing things doesn't really, like, change anything or do much. And so what this time is really calling for us to do is to create space in our lives so that we can have this, like, structure of embodiment of our truth and what we really are truly, like, calling in that's higher than what we currently have. Aquarius represents the heavens as well, so they're about calling in what is higher than what we currently have. We are just in the age of, not in the age of, I don't want to say the age of Capricorn, but we are just in a lot of Capricorn energy, which is like kind of like having, and like more material world. And Aquarius is more of like the spiritual realm. Like, how are you embodying your spirituality? How are you embodying the divineness that you are? How are you using the things that you know in a way that gives back to those around you, in a way that connects you more with the collective as a whole, and connects you more with your truth, and connects you more with like what you're here to really, the divine gifts that you're really here to share and bring to the world. And so that's really what the age that we're moving into. It's not like the world's gonna end, or like things are gonna get really chaotic, or like, that's really what we're moving into, is an embodiment of our truth. Like, what is real? How can we create structure around what is real, and really take away the masks, the facades, the things that are blocking us from seeing the truth, from seeing what's real? How can we remove that and create structure around the truth so that it doesn't keep happening? And how can we expand and move into something higher and innovate into something higher than what we currently have created and what we currently see in our realities? So that's really what this time is about. And of course, like, this will be different for you and affect a different area of your life depending on where this falls in your unique birth chart, which is what the houses are of astrology, is what area of life this will be affecting. And as for me, this is moving through my 5th house, so this is really asking for me to create. The 5th house rules creativity, rules fun, it rules children and romance. This is asking me to create structure around my creativity, to give myself space so that I can really expand into my creativity and expand into the things that bring me joy and that are fun for me. But I have to this time is with Saturn here, this time is showing me that, or like bringing up for me, that I have to create structure around my life first, and kind of like adult around some things first, so that I can really truly like be free in my expansion of play and of creativity. And if you're an Aquarius rising, this is transiting your 1st house, so this will really be bringing a lot of light for you around your identity, around your truth, and where you're kind of not embodying your truth, how you can create structure around the embodiment of your truth, of the things that you know to be true for you, and really how you can take action towards calling those things into your life and towards having those things into your reality, so that you can really expand who you are, and so that you can expand into your truth and into your knowing and into your divinity, into your sovereignness, because the 1st house rules identity, it rules our personality, it kind of rules how we see ourselves and how we show up as ourselves. And so if you have these planets transiting there, that's what is going to be bringing up for you during this time, or is going to be calling for you to look at during this time. And so, yeah, again, this will just depend on where this is in your birth chart. But as a collective overall, we're really, the truth is coming to light. We're being asked to kind of restructure things around that truth, around what we're working towards, around what we are innovating towards, what we're growing towards. But first, that structure has to be there, and then we can kind of flow and ease into our highest, and into our truth, and into an embodiment of our knowing and our divinity and sovereignty. So yeah, that's what the next 2.5-3 years I feel will be bringing as a whole, collectively. And yeah, I have also been feeling called to offer a unique reading for this time, geared towards how this energy will be playing out for you, and what area of life this will be affecting for you, and kind of how you can navigate it with ease, and give you some kind of clarity and support and guidance around this time, and what it'll be kind of calling you towards and bringing in for you, because it does depend on your unique energy. So I am doing a special for the conjunction, and And just, this time in general, as we go into the new year, I just want to help you navigate through this new year with ease, because 2020 has been fucking crazy. And I feel like if I had some guidance like last December on like, oh, this is the astrology of this year, and this is kind of like what I foresee happening and how you can kind of navigate it, would have helped me a ton. So that's what I'm doing. I'm offering right now. I'm paying that forward, and kind of giving a timeline of the next year or two for you based on the energies of what's kind of happening with the planets right now and how they're affecting your chart. And I will be creating a PDF as well to explain, just a freebie, to explain the houses and what they mean, and kind of how you can use like the transits that are happening right now to know what's going on, like without having to consult anyone else. Like you can look at this for yourself and kind of see like what's happening. So that's what I'm passionate about, is helping you understand this for yourself, so that you don't need me, or you don't need an astrologer to kind of understand what's happening and what could happen in the future. So anyways, but yeah, that's my offerings right now, what I'm working on right now, what I've been feeling called to do and to share and to create right now. So if you're interested in getting that year or two ahead based on this conjunction and what it means for you, send me a DM, reach out. Would love to talk to you more about it, and yeah, get you some guidance and clarity and support during this time, because we need it. 2020 is gonna be it's gonna be a wild ride, but it's gonna be fun and it's gonna pay off. So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to the next, like, just the future in general. Like, I had a really rough morning this morning, and I'm just really ready for what's coming in. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this provided some clarity into this time, and kind of helped you to find some hope, because there is a lot of hope. Aquarius is, also the sign of hope, and faith, and of trusting. So keep the faith, keep the hope alive, keep trusting that this is all happening for you, and it's all going to work out for the best, whatever happens. So sending you all love, and yeah, have a beautiful day and weekend.